Hey guys, Metal Driver 89 here, bringing you another WWE review, but this time I'm not going to be taking a look at a figure or even a product by Mattel, but instead I'm going to be taking a look at the Wicked Cool Toys Authentic Scale Crowd Pop-Up and Stage Pop-Up. Alright, so as you can see here, we have the Authentic Scale Crowd Pop-Up, so right there says that it's over 3 feet wide, which is pretty neat. Nothing on the back. And then we've got the Authentic Scale Stage pop-up for Smackdown, again, over 3 feet wide. And on the back you've got images of the other sets in this wave. So you've got the Raw stage and the crowd pop-up, which I just showed you. And here is the Raw stage pop-up, again over 3 feet wide, which is neat. And again on the back it just shows you the other sets in the wave. Alright, there we've got the material on the table. So this is basically what it comes with. An assembly is required. The instructions are on the back. It just gives you different pieces that are labeled by letter, and then you can attach them that way. Alright, so I'm going to be honest, I'm not really good at assembling things, but I'm going to try my best to do this on camera, and I'm even going to time this, not to showcase how fast I can do it, but just to see how much time it took me, just to let you guys know. For those of you who are out there wondering, how long is this going to take? Maybe I shouldn't pick this up because it might take too long to assemble this, and I'm just lazy. Well, I'm going to show you how long it took me. So I'm going to put a timer here on my phone, and then we're going to go ahead and try to assemble this on camera. Whew, alright, so I finally got this thing finished and set up. It took me about a good 10.5 minutes just to get the first one set up, but I was didn't exactly know what I was doing, kind of just sticking things, but I did notice one thing about this. The cardboard here is not very durable. It felt a little flimsy, at least in comparison to something like a what's it called, the extreme sets that I often use for my displays and my photography, especially for wrestling photography, using the arena set. Alright, so now that I got that built, I'm going to do the next one, because it comes with two. So I'll set this up off camera and we'll see how that looks next to each other. Alright, now that I have both crowd pop-ups set up and finished, this is what they look like next to each other. So here you have the first and the second one. Well, it doesn't really matter which one's first or second, but here you have two. So it is actually pretty huge. It covers up a pretty big portion of my table here. And just to show you a comparison with an Elite figure, you have the Elite AJ Styles, and as you can see, this thing is massive, which is really nice. I think this makes for really cool displays, or even if you want to do some toy photography like I do, this is really cool. Later on, once I assemble everything else, I'm going to show how this looks in my wrestling display. So we'll see how that shows up, and I'll see if I recommend this. But this is actually pretty cool. I like this. This is nice. Now, I'm going to go ahead and set up the stage pop-ups for both the SmackDown and Raw stage. I'm actually going to do that off camera, because I think it might be a little easier to do that than it is here. I felt like after I had set up my second stage, without having to do it in front of camera or next to the camera, it felt a little easier. Plus, I knew what I was doing. So, we'll be right back, and we'll see how Raw and SmackDown look. Alright, here we have the SmackDown stage all set up, and it took me about 12.5 minutes to get this thing put together. Now, it wasn't so much difficult, but rather it was more of the cardboard being very flimsy and me trying to be careful with what I was doing. I was worried that I might rip something or bend something. So yeah, so that is something to note, that this cardboard isn't really that sturdy. It's not firm. It's very wobbly and flimsy. However, getting it all set up, it does look really, really good. And you can't even see the entire thing, because that's how huge it is. So let me back this camera up a little bit. So you're probably going to get to see a couple lamps in the way. So there. So yeah, so you can see how huge this is. It takes up really pretty much the entire space of my table here. You can see the lamps on each side. And now, to see a comparison with a figure, here's my AJ Styles. So yeah, that is enormous. It's pretty big, and it looks really good. I think this would look great for toy photography. It would look fantastic in a action figure display, especially if you have an arena set up. So that looks really nice. So let's go ahead and remove that and put the Raw stage up. Alright, and here we have the Monday Night Raw stage. And again, it looks really incredible. It's huge. It takes up the entire table space. And it looks very accurate to the modern day Raw stage. Now, the stage design is pretty much the same as the SmackDown. Basically what I meant by the design being the same is the actual model of the stage is the same. It's an LED stage, but then they use different colors, different logos, obviously, for Raw. So it looks really nice. And then again, let's put AJ Styles right there. So, really big, really nice. It looks amazing. Now I'm going to go ahead and actually move this video over to my wrestling display. Alright, here we are at my arena setup here for my wrestling photography that I do. So if you look over here, I do have a stage. It's from Jakks Pacific. It's an old Raw stage from the 2003 era, so you can see how that looks there. So I'm going to put one of the new stages there, and we'll see how that looks. Alright, and now we have the SmackDown stage, and as you can see, it is huge. It takes up a lot of space, but it looks really, really good with the rest of the setup here. So I think that looks really nice. Let's zoom in on that. So there you see crowd. The stage is right there, and it looks fantastic. And we'll go ahead and plop one of my wrestlers there. Alright, there you have a Daniel Bryan figure standing right there at the stage. Again, it looks great. It looks, I would say it looks pretty much to scale to what a stage would be as far as the size with a wrestler. Might be just a little smaller than what the stage would look like, especially that walking area, not the ramp, but that area by the LED screens. I think that would be a little bigger on an actual stage, but I think it looks really good how it's scaled. Alright, so now let's go ahead and remove the SmackDown stage and put the Raw stage there, but I'm going to keep the SmackDown ring there, so will be a little bit of an inaccuracy there, but hey, no big deal. Alright, and now we have the Raw stage set up. So it looks really good, and then there's the rest of the arena. That's how the stage looks. Again, Smackdown ring, but I wasn't going to move that out of the way just for the sake of showing the Raw ring. Alright, and there we have the Elite 68 Braun Strowman right there on the stage, so that looks really good. So again, I really like how it looks. I think it turned out really nice. I think it's a fantastic set to have, especially if you have a display setup similar to this. Again, the only gripe is just the cardboard feels a little flimsy. When I was setting up Braun Strowman on that stage, I could tell that the cardboard wasn't really fully supporting his weight. I mean, as you can see, it does, but just it bends a little bit when you put a heavier figure like that. And also here I wanted to showcase how the crowd setup looks in comparison to a Extreme Sets Arena pop-up. So go ahead, turn the light off over there. So yeah, so the Wicked Cool Toys crowd pop-up is huge. It is pretty big. And it looks nice, especially when you have wrestling figures right in front of it. I like how realistic it looks. There's got some images of real people in the crowd setup. I think that looks really nice. But again, the Arena 2.0 has that as well. And the Arena 2.0 is much, much larger. It's also more expensive. Alright, now that we have taken a look at both the Raw stage, the Smackdown stage, and the crowd pop-up, both in just looking at it and even showing it with a wrestling setup, what are my thoughts on these two pieces? I really like these. They're really nice to have, especially here, as you can see with my wrestling setup. It looks really cool. Now, is it perfect? Is it the best piece I've ever seen? No, I mean, there are some issues. With both the stage setups, pop-ups I should say, I felt that the cardboard was a bit flimsy. Hopefully in the future, it would be nice if they release these with a little more sturdier cardboard. That probably will raise the price a little bit, but I'm willing to spend a few extra bucks if that means that the piece would actually last longer and be more durable. The crowd pop-up, really nice. I don't think I'm going to use it in place of my Extreme Sets Arena. I'm definitely not going to be replacing that. But it's a nice piece. It's nice to have, especially for those that don't want to spend the price of the Arena setup, which costs about $50. The Wicked Cool Toys version from Ringside, that one's just $11.99. In fact, all three pieces are $11.99. So for that price, I think it's really cool. Again, my only concern is that it's just the paper, the cardboard's not durable. I wouldn't mind spending a few extra dollars on more sturdier cardboard, but for what it is, I think it's really good. I love the stage setup, the crowd pop-up. I mean, I'm glad I have it, but it's not something that I'm dying to have. I'm hoping these sell well. I'm hoping people look at this review or watch other reviews and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to support this. Because if enough people buy this, I would like to see Wicked Cool Toys produce more stage pop-ups. Obviously, having the modern Raw and Smackdown would be the obvious choice, but in the future, I would love to see some more classic looks, like maybe a 90s old school Raw, or the Attitude Era Raw, or even the Ruthless Aggression Raw. It'd be nice to have the Attitude Era Smackdown and the Ruthless Aggression Smackdown with the fist, or even some really cool pay-per-view designs back in the late 90s and early 2000s. Actually, early to mid 2000s, we had really nice designs for pay-per-view stages, even for WrestleMania. So, definitely, I'd say if you're a wrestling collector, if you love doing wrestling photography, or if you just like having your wrestling figures set up in this cool diorama, it's a definite pickup. Yeah, so if you like this review, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to see more wrestling reviews or WWE Elite reviews, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you you think someone might like this video, go ahead and share that with other people. I will put a link in the description below, just if you're interested in picking this up. It is a Ringside Collectibles exclusive. As always, stay tuned till the end to see photos of these sets and pop-ups in action, and I will see you next time.